concept is simple. I have a couple statements. The panelists either agree or disagree. No waffling on your answer or else you get called out. So let's kick things off with our first statement. Reggie Bush deserved to get his Heisman Trophy back. Mike, what do you think?
I'm on a yes with this one, absolutely. I think it was ridiculous considering the nature of some of the things that other Heisman Trophy winners have done, and they didn't lose their Heisman. For Reggie to be the only one that was singled out the way that he was, and for him to lose his Heisman didn't make sense to me in the first place, and now in the current landscape of college sports, for him to not have it is utterly ridiculous. Yes, he absolutely should have gotten it back. Jonah, how about you?
Yeah, I'm shaking my head like, how is this even a topic? Yeah, absolutely deserve to get it back.
Not a ringing endorsement of Andrew Cely.
Hang on a second. This is a hot button topic.
He got a limo ride to the Heisman Trophy. I remember the quote, I think this was years ago, and they took it away. It's like he deserves some high-profile punishment because he was some high-profile player. Give me a break, right? I mean, what he did for college football back then, arguably one of the most electric college football players of all time. I'm a millennial, so he's my favorite college football player of all time. I'm glad it's back. It should have never been taken away.
Yeah, this is exactly like when a law becomes not a law anymore. Like something is not outlawed anymore, and they release all the people from jail that went to jail because of all those rules in the past, right? So like this is exactly what's gonna happen. If they had NIL back then, he would still have his Heisman, and it wouldn't be a big deal at all. So I can't even think of like the opposite of this. Like why would he not deserve it?
Well, I got the opposite. It should have gone to Vince Young. It was Vince Young's Heisman. He was on the bench on 4th and 1. Vince Young took that Heisman home with him in that national championship game in 2006. It belongs in Austin. They should have just taken it from Reggie and given it to Vince in the first place. Give it to Vince.
The resident Longhorn heard from on the panel. Listen, if they had voted after the national championship game, he would have won the award, absolutely.
Yeah, and to be fair, Vince was offered the award, so he had the opportunity to take it. He gracefully declined, including Mac Brown was also part of that decision-making process. But kudos to Vince for even allowing that decision-making process to happen and to just step aside. Because I think the reason why this topic is here, to throw Jonah under the bus here, is because this deserves to be talked about, and it deserves to actually be denigrated for how ridiculous it was to begin with. We're talking about something that wasn't even proven to begin with in terms of what money he did or did not accept, how it even entered his family's hands to begin with. It's one specific point in his career that did not affect anything he did on the field. And I think that's ultimately where I lay down on this. Absolutely, he deserves his Heisman back. It shouldn't be a conversation, except with Vince.
This shouldn't be a conversation, says the producer who created the conversation.
But that's why. That's why we're doing it. It's just so we can get all this out there. All right, anyway, statement number 2. Pete Rose should never enter the Baseball Hall of Fame. Hard never. Mike, what do you think?
This one I have a harder time not waffling on, but I will co-sign that he shouldn't go in. We just saw an NBA player get banned for betting on sports. It's just something you cannot do. I do struggle, however, with the dichotomy of punishing guys for betting on games and these leagues jumping in with both feet to all of these different betting landscapes. That part of it feels contradictory, feels wrong to me. But as an athlete, you shouldn't do it.
Nick, start us off here. What do you think?
Yeah, as a kid from Cincinnati, he should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. You cannot tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose, and I think that's what Hall of Fames are for. Put a little asterisk next to him, put something there. There also should be some kind of statute of limitations for things like this. Like, it's been long enough. Let the guy in, right, for the end of his life. Let him be in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
So are we going to let in the Black Sox here is the question of 1919? Are we going to go back that far and allow the people that have tainted the legacy of the sport to enter a hallowed hall? Jonah, what do you think?
Well, it's part of the story of the game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Pete Rose never bet on his team to lose, right? It wasn't like a Jonte Porter situation where he's betting on himself to brick.
He did not bet on them to lose. He did admit to betting on the Reds, but he said he never bet on them to lose.
See, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. If you're that confident, you're going to lay your own Skrilla on winning the game. So be it. This segment's brought to you by WFAA Bet. I'm joking. It's not legal in Texas. You can't do it. I'm joking. But I say you let him in.
Clarence, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Jonah. I'm with Mike. He should be in. Oh, well, Mike said no. I'm with Jonah and Nick. He should be in. He's a Hall of Famer. We know he's a Hall of Famer. It's almost like the Reggie Bush stuff we talked about. time. It's a new day and age. Back then, when they were doing that, leagues were not on board. They were not in bed with gambling sites, and now everybody's in bed with gambling sites, and you're telling these people they can't bet. And on games, again, the fact that he didn't bet against his team to lose, that's the integrity part that you want out of the game, because he could have influenced the outcome, but nothing he did influence the outcome of the game. He should be in the Hall of Fame, and Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame, and the rest of those guys as well.
So that kind of answers my follow-up here with regards to the steroid users, because I think that's kind of the ultimate question in all of this for me personally, which is Pete Rose bet knowing what happened to the 1919 team. I think that's where I come down on this. Like, he saw the speed limit and then immediately just blew by it anyway, both as a player and a manager. Regardless of whether he bet on his team to win or lose, he still bet. He still took that extra step. And that, to me, it's like you deserve what comes to you after that.
That's why this is a tough, no fence riding subject, because there is so much nuance to this discussion. The fact that he didn't bet on his own team makes it inherently so different than what the Black Sox did.
Yeah, but it's like people smoking weed back in the 70s, knowing it's illegal and going to jail for a lifetime. Okay, times have changed. Our attitudes have changed toward marijuana. They've changed toward gambling. The leagues have changed their attitudes toward gambling. We should not be holding that against him because of the Black Sox did it. He shouldn't have done it.